So the holiday season is all but over, and for many people, it's the experience of buying and receiving awkward presents. If you're watching this video, you are probably going to fall into one of two categories. Either you're buying a gift for an archer, or you're buying a gift for someone who isn't an archer and you're trying to get them into archery. Whether it's Christmas or a birthday or an anniversary gift or just a big thank you for someone special to you, buying an archery present can be fun, but also very tricky, and there are many pitfalls you should try to avoid. Let's look at one of the most common scenarios, getting someone you know into archery. And the most common example of this is your significant other has an interest in archery. And you, being the ever-loving, loyal partner, want to give them this opportunity and get them a bow. You may want to reconsider this. Let me explain. Buying a bow, especially online, isn't actually that hard. At worst, you can go on Amazon, buy a £30 Samix Sage, and you're good to go. However, buying the right bow can be a lot trickier. This is especially true if you yourself are not knowledgeable in archery. It's hard enough doing a blind buy for yourself, but doing a blind buy for someone else, that's kind of discouraged. There are a lot of things that you can miss, and if you want to give your partner the best experience by giving them a hobby that they can get into and stay with, then you really want to make the right choices. Instead of dropping money into a bow that they may or may not like, consider the following. Think about gifting them with archery lessons at your local club. The archery club is usually the first point of contact for people getting into archery. They have the right equipment for beginners, they have instructors that can show you what to do, and they can answer any questions you have about doing archery and buying equipment. And you may end up shooting at this club in the long term. This is a completely normal pathway, and we're used to this sort of thing. I myself have received several phone calls from people looking at buying coupons or vouchers as a Christmas present. And while we don't offer the service at our club, that's something you can consider and ask around. And even if there is no coupon service, then just think about paying for archery lessons at the next opportunity. This is probably the safest and the most enjoyable way to get someone into archery without any commitments. It's still a nice day out, especially both of you go, and it doesn't require you to invest in equipment. That's the most important thing. So if you want to give someone that one-off chance to try archery and see if they like it, as usual, the club is one of the best places to go to. If you do want to get a bow, the best thing you should do is to go to the shop together. Now you might be thinking, oh no, I want to wrap it up and put it under the Christmas tree. Bah humbug! Buying a bow can be very technical, and you want to get a bow that is matched to the person that they can use safely and enjoyably. And if it's a big deal where you want to surprise them, take them to the shop as a day trip. Make a big fuss out of it. Even, to me personally, I find it better that they know what they're getting rather than being surprised with something they can or can't use. So, get past the idea of trying to put a bow on a bow and actually make right choices. There are many advantages of going to the shop instead of doing a blind buy. For starters, you get all the information you need on the spot. You can see all the bows on the shelves. You can do window shopping. You can pick and choose. The colors are there. The styles are there. So the person you're buying for can have the most input on what they like. That's essential. The store assistants will give you all the help you need, and they will choose the right equipment for you. Maybe, instead of shooting a traditional recurve, your partner is more interested in the gadgets and the mechanics of using a compound bow, and that's fantastic. They can buy the compound bow, they can get it measured for their draw length, they can set up for the right draw weight, they can get the right arrows, they can get the right accessories and safety gear. All of this can be done in one shot. So by the time you walk out of the store, you've bought the present, it's set up, and they can shoot as much as they want. That is a good present. Archery is a very personalized sport, and it's essential that you get the right equipment. Equipment that fits you, equipment that you like to look at, and something you want to use. In my opinion, it's better that you sacrifice the element of surprise and make sure they get what they need and what they want. That way, they actually want to use the bow. It does cost a fair bit of money to get into the sport, and making the right decisions will save you money in the long run. The worst thing that you can do is to buy a bow, they can't use it or they don't like it, they might shoot it once and then leave it somewhere in the garage for the next 20 years. That is a waste of a present. So in short, if you're thinking of using archery as a present for someone getting into the sport, I recommend first you go to a club and do lessons, or secondly, you go to the shop together and you buy the bow together. The exception to this is if you yourself are a skilled and experienced archer, in which case you probably know more about the equipment you need to get for the person you're getting it for. That can be okay. I still think it's hard to recommend stuff for a particular person. You need to really know the person, and unless they've done archery before, you don't really know what they need. I find it hard to push a specific brand or specific model onto someone. I still think that as archery fundamentally is a personalized sport, they should make the decisions, not someone else. That's my opinion. Let's look at the other scenario. You're buying a present for someone who already is an archer. Let's say, you are doing a Secret Santa and you've picked someone who you know is a very avid archer. What kind of gift can you get them? Don't buy them a bow. In fact, I would refrain from getting archery equipment in general. I said before that archery is a highly personalized sport, and for someone who already is an archer, they've likely already done that personalization. They've already picked their bow. They've already picked their arrows. Everything is specifically done for their setup. They have all the gear. They've done their tune to suit their gear. So unless you know what they actually need, and for example, someone wants a new set of stabilizers, then it's best to let them pick what they want. I know routinely, archers will get lots of supplies. They'll always buy new stuff. But often it's just routine stuff. Things like hot melt glue, or arrow points, or nocks. These are things which aren't really worthy of gifts. And if you do want to give them a gift for something they need, let them pick. If they're going to buy new arrows, they have to pick the shaft, they have to pick the spine, and cut it down to length, and pick the right points, and put on the right nocks, and the right veins, and so on. It's complex. If you're at the level where a bow is a bow, and arrows are arrows, it's probably best you leave that choice to the experts. If you're particularly observant, you may identify things that they actually need. Sometimes they make it really obvious, like they want a new sight, or they want new stabilizers. But other times you may notice that they have a very old finger tab, or the quiver is starting to have holes in it, or the arm guard's broken, in which case you can get them new equipment. Sometimes, and especially with the decorative stuff, you can get custom-made equipment which looks really nice. Things like custom leather arm guards with fancy designs on it. You can buy them from Etsy. They look great. They're harmless. They don't always have to use them, but they look fantastic. A lot of people like these things. You can buy them custom quivers. Again, just be a little careful because some people do prefer the modern functionality more so than the traditional leather fancy work. But this particular person you're buying for may appreciate that. So choose carefully. If you know what they want and you know what they like, then there are options out there. Otherwise, you can play it safe by buying a gift card from an archery store. While this may seem boring, just remember that archers are always buying stuff, so having a gift card will help them, and it's topical without being too specific. That said, do bear in mind that archery equipment usually does cost quite a bit, and having a $20 gift card doesn't actually do too much. So it's a very token gesture, but otherwise it's a pretty safe option if you have no idea what you're doing. But if a gift card is a little too impersonal and you want something with a bit more meaning, here are some things you could look at. Books. Archers love expanding their knowledge. I mean, who doesn't like a book? Books are great. There are a lot of good books out there. You can get, historical archery books. You can get, sports history books. You can get training books. These are all great. Even though it may not always be topical, it's always nice to read about archery. So getting a book is a very old-fashioned gift idea, but a fantastic gift idea. Training tools. Chances are they might already have their own stretching bands. But in any case, you can get a stretching band, you can get more specialized and harder to find tools such as the Astra Shot Trainer or the KSL Shot Trainer. These are very specialized, but they can be just the right thing to fill the gap in someone's equipment. Collectibles. Talking about things like merchandise, but for me, things like pins. I've got pins from World Archery. I've collected pins from the Olympic Games, from Atlanta, Sydney, London, so on. In fact, one of my recent buys was a gold-colored coin that was the archery collector's item from the Sydney 2000 Games. These can be fun token items. They don't cost very much, but it's something which you can leave on your shelf or your desk. So, getting collectibles like this, is a good gift idea. Mini bows. I've already done a review for the Cartel Mini Compound. For those who hate compounds, Deckert makes the Mini Recurve. These are fully functional bows. They're small, they're cute, and they're cheeky. The right gift for the discerning archer. Custom finger slings or wrist slings. You can easily get some colored paracord and make one yourself, or you can order one online. These are great additions because everyone uses one and they're easily switched out, so there's no personalization involved apart from the color. I myself use a very boring piece of old shoestring, so having a bit of color would add some spice to your equipment. Arrow wraps. These can be bought online. They come in a variety of colors and designs, and a lot of them are customized. So you can print a particular pattern, or you can print the archer's name on it. I've noticed that a lot of beginner to intermediate archers don't have arrow wraps. Those who are already serious competitive archers probably have their own customized or personalized arrow wraps, so don't worry about that. But for most archers with new equipment, wraps are a good idea. They're usually easy to put on, they're colorful, and it's one of the most unique ways that someone can make their arrow stand out. If you're into a bit of DIY, you can give them an arrow pen. These are quite easy to make. All you need is an arrow shaft, preferably a broken one. Cut it down, grab a pen, and put the tube inside. You've got an arrow pen. Very thematic, they're fully functional, very cute too, appropriate gifts for an archer. Now there are probably a lot more things out there which are great presents for archers. Unfortunately, I'm not that experienced in giving or receiving presents, so I open the question to you. What do you think are good gift ideas for archers? This is New Sensei. Hope you found this helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.